So, viewers, today I have with me P.K. Mishra, former Additional Director General of the BSF. He's a key security expert in India and he has managed sensitive border areas and internal security challenges in India. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with Asianet News.
Jai Hind, Hina.
Jai Hind, sir. This discussion will focus on the decline in the Maoist insurgency in India. Now, recently we saw the killing of Madvi Hidma, one of the most feared Maoist leaders. And a lot of people are discussing that how this is possibly a big turning point in our fight against the Maoist insurgency. How much do you think it will be a hit for the insurgency? And do you think that it will now help us with greater force to disintegrate the entire movement?
Yes, Hina, I can well tell you, Hidma, he was, of course, he's the son of the soil of Chhattisgarh. He's from Sukma. He's 44 years old and I can well tell you he joined first CPI and then he joined Maoist movement. He became a central committee member and he was commanding the first PLGA battalion, the guerrilla army battalion in Naxalites, and that is the biggest battalion, operational battalion in the whole of Red Corridor. And practically he was the mastermind of all operations, big operations which were planned and which were executed all over in Red Corridor, including that of Talmetala and Dantewada, where in 2010, 76 CRPF personnel were killed, and then 2013, the Jiram Ghati operation where 32 Congress leaders were killed, and then 2011 where another 25 CRPF persons were killed, and 2021 also he killed in Sukma, Bijapur Road about 22 police personnel. He was in fact a terror, and in all the tribal area, because he was the king of Dandakaranya, Bastar, and also Abusmar. And he was the only member in Central Committee from Bastar and Dandakaranya division. And anywhere weapons were snatched and recovered from security forces by Naxalites, that used to go to Hidma's PLJ, number 1 PLJ battalion. That was Hidma. I had been to Jiram Ghati just 3 days after the incident happened in 2013. And I know how Hidma planned with 350 Naxalites there in ambush, and they escaped very nicely through Tulsi Dogri to Odisha in Malkangiri. They escaped to another state. Now, because after this Karaigura operation in April, which continued for 21 days, and the biggest operation in the history of security forces in India, there 31 Naxalites were killed and Hidma was also there. But Hidma had 5-layer security and he could manage to escape from that place. Then, of course, Vasav Raju was killed with 26 more civilians, more Naxalites in Chhattisgarh. There also Hidma was there. And there also Hidma escaped. Hidma was, he was a great person. He knew the terrain. The best part of it, he knew the terrain and he knew all the roads and how to escape in an operation. And then what happened? Venugopal surrendered at Gadchiroli. He requested Hidma, please surrender, come to Mukhyadhara and come back. But he didn't bother for Venugopal's messages. Then his mother was contacted. His mother sent a message, Hidma's mother, Hidma, please come back, leave the weapons, leave this thing and come back to your home, I am waiting. He refused to come back. He thought perhaps after so many persons leaders were killed and so many persons were apprehended and a lot of leaders surrendered, he may lead whole of Naxalites all over India. That is what he thought. But the way Chhattisgarh security forces, they started operating all over places. We had about more than 100 forwarding operation bases in Dandakaranya, Bastar and Abusmar, where they were dominating. We entered there and opened the camps. he had no other option than to escape to Andhra.
Yeah.
He tried to escape. He tried to escape with his wife Rajaka. She was also along with him, and another four Naxalite leaders. They all six of them, they were escaping from Chhattisgarh to Andhra to take shelter there. But this information, this intelligence could come to security forces, and Telangana police, Greyhound, including Andhra police, Odisha police, and Chhattisgarh police, they all surrounded him in Meredu-Dubali forest of Aluri district in Odisha, Andhra border, Chhattisgarh border in the Tri-Junction. And the contact continued from 6 o'clock, and the firing started from 6 o'clock morning. And that all, the end of Hidma. Hidma was killed along with his wife and other 4 Naxalites. That is what I am telling. After Hidma was killed, PLGA battalion, the biggest battalion, the operational battalion of Naxalites and the Maoists, they don't have a leader. There is no young leader who can lead PLGA battalion, and most of the weapons have been surrendered.
Yeah.
And they don't have a place to recruit. The tribals are not interested to be recruited into Maoism and Naxalites, and they don't have a training place also to give them the training, and they don't have an instructor. They had the improvised explosive device instructor, that is a Meturi Jokharao, called Tek Shankar. And this Tek Shankar, the leader, he was also the central committee member of Andhra Odisha border. The next day, in the same forest, in the same district, he was with another 6 Naxalites, with 3 women Naxalites. They were also trying to escape, and the next day again firing continued from 6 to 7, 1 hour, and Tek Shankar was killed along with 6 more Naxalites, including 3 women Naxalites. So that is the end of I'm telling you, operational capability of Naxalites. They cannot have any force to go direct to ambush security forces or direct to open fire. They just don't have the capability. Now what they can do, if few persons are there, they will go for placing improvised explosive devices in a place with pressure switch, so that by chance security forces, they go on that road or track, they may be blasted. That is a different issue. That happens everywhere in India. But they are finished now. And what Mr. Amit Shah and our Honorable Prime Minister, they gave that verdict, you see, by 31st March 26. And then Amit Shah ji told, before 30th November, I want Hidma to be apprehended, or I want Hidma to surrender, or I want Hidma to be killed. And this happened 12 days before 30th of November 2025. And I am very sure what Honorable Prime Minister has thought, that India will be Naxal Mukt Bharat. That's a Naxal Mukt Bharat. It may happen by 31st December 2025, because Hidma has gone, and operational capability that has gone to zero. Devji is now wondering, he is now running away. Devji is running away. He will be killed or to be caught, or he may surrender any time.
Now the family of Devji is saying that he has been apprehended, but the police has denied it.
Yes, there was a statement by his family, and it came out the next day when Tek Shankar was killed. Information came that Devji also was killed, but all the 7 dead bodies, they were identified, and Devji is still there, and he is there, and that's all. But Devji cannot lead PLGA 1st Battalion. He has no operational capability, but Devji will be caught. Devji will surrender. They have no other option. And the best part of it, Hina, I will tell you, this 1st PLGA battalion personnel, so-called Naxalites with weapons, they are giving a message that we are ready to surrender. The surrender policy of Chhattisgarh government is such which was adopted by Odisha, Andhra, Telangana, and all other states, the way they are looking after those surrendering Naxalites and their families, definitely the PLGA battalion, 1st Battalion personnel will surrender with arms. They have other option. Hina.
Hmm. Sir, you talked about Venugopal, aka
Yes.
Sonu. When he surrendered, we thought that
Yeah.
Madvi Hidma will also fall in place,
Correct.
but he continued to have this different
Yes.
ideological path. Now, of course, we are killing the leaders, but how much rampant this ideology is in that red corridor, the so-called red corridor? Because even if we kill the leaders, these ideological bases will continue to exist. So how will we be able to decimate it completely?
Hina, I will tell you, I am the person who was directly involved in wiping out Maoism and Naxalism in West Bengal in 1972, 73, 74. That Charu Majumdar's group
Yeah.
who created Maoism in India. And there were three officers, which the then IGP, that time there was no post of DG police in India. They were IG police. The IG police, Chief Justice and Chief Secretary, they all combined and they selected three officers in three districts, 24 Parganas, Bardhaman and Nadia. They selected three outside officers of Bengal and they told, what you may do whatever you like. We want Naxalism to be over in Bengal. And in 1974, Naxalism was totally zero in West Bengal, and his operational commander, like Hidma in Chhattisgarh, Gora Sarkar, was killed by the person who is speaking to you now. At Santipur Phulia in Nadia district, I was SP Nadia at that time.
Yeah.
And that is how I have seen, but they had ideology.
Yeah.
They had ideology and they were fighting for a cause. Here in Red Corridor, they were not fighting for a cause. It is violence. There are criminals. They were getting weapons from China. They were getting weapons from Myanmar. They were getting funds from urban Naxals. They were getting funds from Raipur capital. They were getting funds from Calcutta. They were getting funds from Delhi, and they were getting funds through JNU. That is called Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi. These all areas, they were covered with urban guerrillas, and they were helping them with protection, with the law, and also giving them funds, and also ensuring that the weapons they come from China and Myanmar. That was the policy of these urban guerrillas. Now what happened? This funding system, that has been totally stopped. Number two.
So the funding of the proxy groups by China is completely stopped.
Totally. Now no funds can go to them. There is no bank, no place where they can get the fund. And there is no person who can receive the fund also. Number two, the weapons coming from Myanmar and China, totally it is blocked. They cannot send even a small pistol also to Naxal areas. That is totally blocked. Urban Naxalites, we know who are the persons in our headquarters, such capitals of various states and India's capital. They are also being watched. No question of any funds or anything going to them. So I'm very sure Naxalism will be definitely ousted in India. They don't have an aim. They are not Charu Majumdar. They are not Charu Majumdar that they are having an aim so that they will be there with the mass. They were getting the mass with them by force. The tribals were there with them by force, because the tribals, they knew if they don't help them, they will be killed. And all our informers were killed also. So nobody was coming up to inform us. Our informers were not there in the field. And we were operating on the roads, main roads, and we used to go inside the forest, do some operations and come back. Now then we changed the tactics. We entered their area. The technicality came to security forces. Communication improved.
Yeah.
Road communication improved. I'm telling you about our communication. We had the communication from drones direct to the ground to the operational parties, and our troops. Suppose they get casualty. They got casualty. We started evacuating them through helicopter. Then we started heli-bound operations. And then what happened? All the interstate border, they were totally blocked.
There are still certain areas, as far as we see in the reports, which are still disconnected. The villages are still disconnected, and so these evacuations, these are largely happening with the help of helicopters. So there is still a lack of infrastructure in those areas. The tribals, at least, who have been stuck in between the security forces and these Maoist leaders, they will aspire for infrastructure, education, the overall socio-economic development.
Yes, it's a very big point which you have stated. You see, Maoism cannot be finished with weapons by security forces. It is only 10%. You will win the hearts of the people if you go for development. I have seen the condition of Chhattisgarh area, maybe in Jiram Ghati, maybe in Darba Ghati, maybe in Narsinghpur, maybe in Kanker. Those areas I visited in 2013. I went inside also to Tulsi Dugri. Things were pretty bad. People were not coming out openly to the security forces and to the government. They were, crying for help. They didn't have anything to do. Even the tribals, they were not even getting the tendu leaves and other fruits of those areas. They were not getting it. There were contractors who were borrowing it, and no development works were done. And we were only there on the roads. We had the camps. That is what we suffered. Now, I just visited this year. I have gone twice to Chhattisgarh. I have seen the development in Kanker. I have seen the development in Dantewada. I have seen the development in the Bastar. I have gone to Malkanagiri also in Odisha to see the development. Things are pretty good. And we are now taking all the young boys and girls, having those who are seventh pass, even they are not educated. We are now going to teach them also in our schools, and we want to take them so that they can enter our forces because they are son of the soil. You see the DRG when it was formed, the DRG, they consist of all the tribals from that area. I am very sure when the road communication, they are improving. All the villages, one by one, we are adopting, and development in communication, development in education, development in health, development in corporate, development in and everything is taking place. Things will change, but those areas where we have already gone inside in the Karyana, Bastar and Agusmar, the state government machinery, they must go inside and start their operation. That is called another civil operation. I call it civil operation. That is all this development. That is what Honorable Prime Minister tells. Because until and unless you don't do that, civilians will not come to you because they have not seen the world. They do not know anything. I'm very sure. I have talked to them several times. They don't get anything. The sugar was 75 rupees a kg. That's what in 2013 I was checking. That time it was 75 rupees a kg in Tulsi Dugri and those areas where I have gone. I have gone like you. I didn't go as a police officer. I went as a journalist with a separate telephone with chappal, and I didn't take any help from anybody. So I went to Tulsi Dugri, and there I found they never get any ration and government ration or anything. So that is how it has reached them. Now our battalion, our forward operating bases, we also receive those items from state machineries, ration and all. We also help in distributing it to the villagers as per their need, as per their quality and quantity concerned. We give them, and the best part of it, a lot of them are being taken in state machineries also. Not only in police forces, They are being taken in civil areas also, particularly in the health sector, education sector. A lot of ladies have been employed, and the young girls, we thought of teaching them, because you see the Bastar Olympics did come up. The
Hmm.
Bastar Olympics has also helped them. Now the best part of it, the ladies and the young girls in those areas, they must come up. I salute to those ladies in tribal ladies. They are telling their children, please don't. They are not telling, they are forcing their children, go and study. You
Hmm.
will get a job. Don't go to these Naxals. They have already humiliated us. They have already killed a lot of us. Now this is the final thing. We, not even our children, should ever join Maoism. Maoism is going to be finished. And the best part of it, I request all the states, their civil organizations must enter, penetrate to those areas where we are there with our forwarding basis, and they must start developing in every respect, so that we take the help, we get the help of those tribals. Tribals are son of the soil. Let us first look after them. I'll give you Hina one example.
Hmm.
In Sunabada, Korapur, Dandakaranya, when in 1971 we had war with Bangladesh, about 50 to 60,000 Bangladesh refugees then entered, and they were settled in Dandakaranya by our honorable so-called Prime Minister then in 1971, I mean beginning of 1972. Anyway, you will come to know who was the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And what happened there? What happened there? They removed all those tribals from that area, and they gave land, they gave cows, they gave bullocks to all these Bangladesh migrants, and sending them out these our own tribals. What they will do then? They became Naxalites.
Hmm.
This is not the way for Bangladesh refugees. Our people suffer. Tribals were not looked after. We thought perhaps they are from some other country. That is what they also thought about us, that we are their enemy. We get all the facilities, but they don't get anything. That is what Naxalism and Maoism, it flourished in Red Corridor. And now the Red Corridor is not there in 11 districts. I am very sure it has gone down to 9 districts as of
Yeah, earlier
today.
it was in more than 180, I
Oh,
think. Now
150,
it's, yeah.
yes. It is now 9, it's not 11, as it was told during Hidma's encounter. Now it is 9 districts. And those 9 districts, all our forces are now entering. We are getting more forces there, and we are entering. We'll ensure these all 9 districts will be free of Maoism very soon.
There is a criticism
Yeah.
of how recruitment happens in DRG. What are we going to do with those forces once we get rid of this insurgency?
I'll tell you, Hina, we had similar type of Salma Jhudum and all in Kashmir also.
Yeah.
And I had a number of militants. They were working with me.
Mm.
And those militants also, they joined me in making a small film. You can see a film called Pyara Gulshan Apna. It is of it's a film. It was there during Operation Time. Yeah, that is in 2000. 1995-96 that was made by Mani Shankar. He could not do it because it was all totally militancy affected area. So then I told Mani Shankar, it was the Prime Minister, Mr. Narsingh Rao's project. I told Mani Shankar, come down, I'll help you. I had a number of militants whom I caught. I asked them, you will participate in this film. They were very happy. The families, they were very happy. They couldn't find out a hero. So a very senior police officer who is speaking to you now in your channel just now, he was the hero of the movie.
I'll definitely give it a watch, sir.
Please, Pyara Gulshan Apna. And in fact, it was broadcasted every day in DD News that time. For 2 years it continued. It was on Kashmir militancy. So all these militants, they joined, they came to forefront, and I am very sure similar way. we will get the help, and let us help those tribals in every respect. The tribals, they are from our family. We should not think that they are outsiders. Let's go there. Let's educate them free of cost. We should have the schools free of cost, and let them be educated and get the service everywhere, and that's also they will come up. And I know a lot of mobile towers, they were all over for our forwarding basis, those were
Yeah.
there. The mobile towers are already there, the road communication already there, but we are making helipads also. Why you are making helipads in those interior areas? Still, you were telling Hena, there are some places where we cannot reach. We have to develop. We are now making helipads there so that our troops can go and land. They will have helibound operations. They will go and we will clear that area so that the civil authority can penetrate to those areas for development. I am very sure the way funds are coming, the way all the states are, it is not central government versus state governments or opposition government. No, every state government is there with central government as far as Maoism is concerned in those areas. All are helping. Even Madam Mamata Banerjee also, they are cooperating. And this is a combined effort for because development in tribal areas, and we have to do it. If we don't do it, I am sure this 31st March will never take place. It will never be done. Let's go. Our main 90% result will get if we just adopt those tribals and develop them, develop their areas. 10% with weapons, not with this area. If we don't reach there, if we don't remain in their heart, we don't win their heart, we cannot remove Maoism. Certainly not.